Good morning, Unity on the River. We know that we are Christed beings, that it is a title that we have taken on. So today we sing, Hallelujah, Christ is born as me today.
Christ is born as me today. Hallelujah, Christ is born. Christ is born as me. Hallelujah, Christ is born. Christ is born as me today. Hallelujah, Christ is born. Christ is born as me.
If I'm unkind, it's not gonna happen if I act blind. It's only gonna happen when I make up my mind. Joy is changing the world, yeah, yeah. My joy is changing the world. Let's sing that again. And it's not gonna happen if I'm unkind. It's not gonna happen if I act blind. It's only gonna happen when I make up my mind. Joy is changing the world, yeah, yeah. My joy is changing the world. Let's go up. The judge. It's not gonna happen if I'm told a grudge. It's only gonna happen if I claim that love is changing the world. Yeah, yeah. My love is changing the world. Let's sing it again. It's not gonna happen if I play the judge. It's not gonna happen if I hold a grudge. It's only gonna happen if I claim that love is changing the world. Yeah, yeah. Love is changing the world. Yeah, yeah. My love is changing the world. Yeah, yeah. My joy is changing the world, yeah. Joy is changing the world. My faith is changing the world. Yeah, my faith is changing the world. Bring it to your heart. My love is
Good morning. Let's stand on our feet. I'm Reverend Ogun Holder, Senior Minister here, in case you've not had a chance to meet. Welcome to another day of spiritual paradise here in Unity on the River. As we know in Unity, opening prayer, prayers and affirmation. So I want you to say with me, I am joy. I am love. Say it again, I am joy. I am love. Consider that prayed in. We are family also. We are family. Let's sing it. We are family.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. Everyone can see we're together as we walk on by. And we walk just like birds of a feather. I will tell no lie. And they be that close. Just like they heard from the record. We're giving love and a family dose. We are family, yeah. I got all my sisters with me. We are family, yeah. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. Living life's fun and we just begun to share this word of this world's delight. High hopes we have for the future and our goals in sight. And we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in things that you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, here is our family jewel. We are family, yeah. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. Get up. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. We are family.
So take a moment to greet each other. Greet your family with a handshake or a hug. Tell them namaste. The divine in me sees the divine in you. Namaste.
When this started, well, how it would go. Something about this old place, but it's time to let go. How the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, how the fields have grown, they've grown in time. just like seeds. Well, we were thrown to the wind. Each season reminds us now of how new life began. How the fields have grown. How the fields have grown. How the fields have grown. They've grown in time. Who knew when this started, or how far we would go? You know there's something about this old place, but still time to let go. How the fields have grown.
Everybody.
How the fields have grown.
How the fields.
How the fields have grown. They've grown in time. Come on, watch us grow. Well, in God's time.
Thank you, Keith. We don't get enough of you. Thank you. That's a beautiful song by our beloved Curtis Haynes, How the Fields Have Grown. And I look out at all of us and I see we have grown. Our fields have grown.
Amen, sister.
So I'm going to get right next to you so I can see these two.
I know we're on different sides now.
Well, we're still on the same side.
That's true. Uh-oh, that's not good. Because the sound guy's up here. All right, shoot. Is it the guitar? Test. I think we're good. All right.
Check, check.
Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. There is no hell to fear, no judgment day drawing near. Trust that inner voice you hear every day. Life's not a goal or a race. It's about heart and faith, living a life of grace every day. Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. And hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Take it, Lucian. Trust is an open hand, making an honest stand, rooted here in the land every day, living the mystery, seeking the harmony here between you and me every day.
Join us.
Ours is the simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day.
Ours is indeed a simple faith grounded in the truth that God is all there is, and we are the embodiment of all there is. Let's anchor in that truth as we spend some time in meditation right now. So if you're comfortable, I invite you to plant both feet on the floor. Sit upright yet comfortably in the chair. Clear the lap of anything other than maybe the upturned hands in a gesture of openness. And for this moment right now, simply turn your attention to your breath. As the notes of the piano wash over you, as the thoughts flitter through your mind, as perhaps sensations in the body arise, notice them without judgment, without attaching any meaning. Just notice, and then simply turn the attention to the inflow and the outflow of breath. To the pauses between the breath. Allow the breath to keep us in this now moment, the only true moment we are experiencing. Allow the breath to pull us into ourselves. With each breath, we allow the body to relax more. And we allow ourselves to fall deeper into ourselves, beyond the physical, into that heart-centered place of oneness and love. Ours is a simple faith. It is knowing that all that we ever seek to be, we already are. The truth of who we are is the joy that we seek. truth of who we are is the love that we seek. The truth of who we are is the peace that we seek. All that God is, we are. It is a simple faith that invites us and calls us higher. So let us each in our mind's eye, in our heart center, affirm this truth. All that God is, I am. All that God is, I am. Let's breathe into that. It matters not if we believe it or trust it. Faith is being grounded in a knowing that goes beyond belief. All that God is, I am. Allow yourself to step behind the doubts, behind the voice of all that would tell you that this is not true. All that God is, I am. All that God is, I am. Let us silently affirm it, sit with it for a few moments in the quiet. All that God is, I am. all that God is, I am. We ground ourselves in this truth and we hold it in consciousness for all the names in our prayer box. All these requests for love, safety, prosperity, wholeness. We hold that all these individuals remember the truth for themselves, that they are all that God is. And should we hold that intention for anyone else, including ourselves, and invite you to say their names out loud now. In so doing, we trust, believe, and affirm that they recognize the truth, all that God is, they are, and that we show up in their lives as that truth. We show up in their lives as all that God is. We show up as who we are. And so it is.
Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day.
Ours is a simple faith. Please join us.
Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day.
Let's all sing it a cappella.
Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day.
Thank you. I forgot as I wrapped up meditation in the prayer box just now to recognize our prayer chaplains who are serving with us today after service. Should you have a need of support for any concerns in your life or for another's, please visit with any of these four blessed souls who are here. They're going to hold that prayer in confidence and also remind you about the truth of who you are for your particular situation. Thank you guys for being here today. Last week, as you all knew, we observed Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I didn't mention it in my talk last week, and I did that intentionally because I wanted to save it for this week, and sort of close enough. This week, January 30th, begins the season for nonviolence. It's something I mention pretty much every time this year. It might be new for some of you. This was a tradition started in 1998 by the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Arun Gandhi. And it falls between January 30th and April 4th. These mark the memorial days of the deaths of Mahatma Gandhi on January 30th and Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4th. And during these 64 days, we are invited to focus on the idea of peace and nonviolence. In 2013, Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama, or as we like to just call him, the Dalai Lama, but that's not his real name, he added his name, or he was invited to add his name to this tradition. So now it's the Gandhi King Gyatso season for nonviolence. And his invitation was for us to carry the vision that was held by those luminaries, both Gandhi and MLK. In fact, he said, those of us who work for peace should not only follow in the footsteps of great peacemakers who have gone before us, but should walk with those who still show the way. Not just follow those who went before us, but to walk with those who currently show us the way. There are so many great peacemakers in this world today. Some of you may recognize these faces, some of you may not. We have Malala. She's a Pakistani activist whose emphasis is on especially educating young girls in her home country of Pakistan, where the Taliban had at one point, and still do, forbid the education of young girls and women. We have Dennis, I always mess his last name up, Mukwege. He is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's a pastor, and he's also a gynecologist, and he founded a hospital and medical center, and their emphasis is to treat women and also offer therapeutic rehabilitation for them who were victims of war rape. In many war-torn countries, women are raped as a symbol of power, as a symbol of domination, as a symbol, it's as horrific as you can imagine it might be. And he founded a hospital to help these women. Nadia Murad, she founded the Nadia's Initiative, an organization dedicated to helping women and children who were victims of genocide, mass atrocities, human trafficking, and to help them rebuild their lives and communities. These are just 3 examples of people whose work, and really just them following their calling to be a presence of nonviolence and peace in the world, led them to being recognized and awarded Nobel Peace Prizes, which is huge, to be recognized on that world stage. And often we look at these folks and the work they're doing and say, I could never do something as amazing as that. But all their work is grounded, more or less, in the tradition that Gandhi started. I don't know, we all know Mahatma Gandhi. We recognize the name, and we have this image of this diminutive, almost emaciated sage in a robe. And we know him as the one who almost led, I think that's the right word to say, led India to its independence from British rule through nonviolent means. Do you know what his occupation was before he became who he became? He was a lawyer. Yes, he was a lawyer. He was married, he was a lawyer. And in his own transformation of his inner self, he realized he was being called to something higher. The last couple of weeks I've been talking about that, listening to that call, listening and finding and living from whatever that individual purpose is that you are being called to. And he was being called to that. And he came up with this concept called satyagraha. It's a combination of 2 things. Satya means truth, and the word agraha means wholly firming onto. Wholly, firmly holding on to the truth is what this phrase sort of means. Insistence on truth. And for him, the truth that all his work was grounded in is in another concept called ahimsa. And this goes way, way back in the Hindu tradition, thousands of years old. Ahimsa, the idea that there's a universal force that connects us, that makes no distinction between who we are, regardless of gender, race, orientation, anything. Therefore, species, thank you, species. So therefore, because we are all on that same plane, to harm one is to harm another, is to harm ourselves. So the idea of ahimsa is because we are all interconnected, basically all one, we do no harm to each other. We do no harm. This is the foundation and the basis for all his work. He called it a silent force. It is this work that Martin Luther King Jr. built his work on. And he actually used the term silent work or soul force when he gave his I Have a Dream speech. Ahimsa. Do no harm. As he was applying his work in India, there's a story that there was another British clergy person who, for whatever reason, supported the idea of imperialism, the idea of Britain ruling India as a colony. And he was in India and he met with Gandhi, and in an effort to try and, I don't know, find some common ground or win Gandhi over to him, he said to him, "Mr. Gandhi, aren't we both men of God?" And Gandhi's reply to him is, "You are a politician disguised as a man of God. I'm a man of God disguised as a politician." And it reminded me of something, my perhaps famous, my most beloved statement by Ram Dass, who recently passed away, who said, "Treat everyone you meet as if it was God in drag." Which is kind of true, right? Right? Each of us, this is our simple faith, this is our truth. Each of us is the embodiment of the divine. We just got a lot of layers on. And all our layers look different, behave different, but the essence of who we are is the same. Treat everyone you meet as if they were God in drag. If we treated everyone that way, we'd be living ahimsa. We would do no harm. If we treated ourselves as if we were God in drag, we would interact with ourselves from this place of ahimsa, of doing no harm. I don't know about you all, but the person who inflicts the most harm on me is me. With my thoughts of forgetting that all God is, I am. With my thoughts of believing that I am not already all that I wish I was. These are violent thoughts. We think of violence in terms of injury and wound and harm and, violent thoughts. We do ourselves an injury when we believe anything other than we are the embodiment of the divine and all that God is we are, because then we limit ourselves. When we say, I can't be a peacemaker like Gandhi or King or Malala, we limit ourselves. Not only then do we limit ourselves, but the work that we could potentially do in this world to transform the lives of others, we don't step up to do. And we have just caused harm to others. How did we cause harm? You're familiar with the phrase, a lie of omission? I didn't lie, I just didn't tell you everything. Right? That's a lie of omission. Sort of the same deal here. When we say no to the truth of who we are and we refuse to act on it, those who could be influenced by it, those who could be transformed by it, the difference that we could make in the world, we don't do, they don't receive that. In essence, we've harmed them by omission. And the biggest lie that we tell ourselves is that if it's not big, it's not making a difference. Another lie we tell ourselves: if I were younger, I could do this. If I were richer, I could do this. If I didn't have so many other things to do, I could do this. If I didn't have to work and pay the bills, I could do this. Smarter. If I were smarter, I could do this. If I had more talent, I could do this. If I had more time, I could do this. I didn't plan to make it a call and response, but hey, I'm liking how this is going. Anybody else? Anybody wants to learn something else? Yeah? If I had more what? What do we tell ourselves that limits us from the fullness of who we are? If I had more wine. If you had more wine, you probably could, because wine lowers the inhibitions, right? Courage. If I had more courage, if I were braver, I could do this. What else?
Health.
What did you say? Faith. If I had more faith, I could do this. In case you didn't realize who said that, it's the youngest person in the room right now, I believe. Okay? Had more faith, I could do. Somebody else said something and I missed it. Health. If I was healthier, I could do this. Yes?
They should wear the T-shirt. Do it.
Just do it, yeah. Nike was genius to brand that, trademark that. And that's easier said than done. Yeah, just do it. But when we remember, and this is our faith, it is so simple, and we put so many obstacles in front of ourselves. Martin Luther King did not begin his life with the intention to be the civil rights champion that he was and give a speech from the Lincoln Memorial. He didn't start that way. But at some point along the way, he realized the truth of who he was and said, yes, this is mine to do. Gandhi did that as well. He was a lawyer to begin with. All the folks I showed you a few minutes ago, none of them started out with the thought of, this is what I'm going to do with my life. Life presented the opportunity, and they said yes. They realized that to truly live the ahimsa, the do no harm to others, first and foremost, no harm to themselves, is to honor who they are and honor what life was inviting them into, and realize that they had and they already were all they needed to achieve these things. So as we jump into this season for nonviolence, the question is that you always need to ask yourself is this: what is mine to do to be peace? What is mine to do to be peace? Notice the question is not, what is mine to do to bring about world peace? What is mine to do to stop the war and wherever war is happening right now? The question is not what is mine to do to heal the political rifts in this country. The question is simply what is mine to do to be peace? Because when you ask and discern what is yours to do, if every soul on this planet, if every of the 7+ billion of us on this planet were to ask and answer this question, it will take care of all the other things. So let's get you started. And you already know the answers to how to answer this question. You already know the steps. Just in case you don't, or you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know them. 3 simple things. 1, practice mindfulness. What do I mean by that? Notice your thoughts. Are the thoughts I am thinking aligning with the truth of all the God is I am? Or not? And if they're not, don't harshly judge yourself. Just notice and redirect. Be mindful. The breath. I don't know how many of you were either as parents or kids, but there was that whole thing of like, before you say anything, count to 10. Remember that? So the premise of that is simple. Take a breath. Let the breath center you before you react. To be mindful is to be fully present in the moment. When you're talking with someone, don't listen from the place of, I know what I'm going to say next. Just listen. Truly hear what the other is saying behind the words they're saying. Be mindful. Practice our unity principles. They sort of help. Unity prayer. What is prayer and unity? An affirmation of who we are. Unity prayer is specifically designed to remind us that all God is, I am. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I'm going to take the class that's coming up on unity prayer. Tell yourselves that too. In March, I'm teaching class on unity prayer. Visit unityontheriver.org/classes to sign up. Commercial over. And another thing you can do is practice community. Somebody said this recently. I keep forgetting names. It's hard to hate close up. It's hard to hate close up. As in, when you know a person well, when you know a person, it is so hard to hate them because you know why? You realize you have more in common. You realize that they are also the essence of, they're God in drag. And sometimes we get to know people in order to realize that truth, regardless of their outside choices, regardless. I'm so thrilled, like today, this week, we're starting our spirit groups. There are a few small groups that are going to be running all through the year. We're going to add some more down the road. But it's the idea of folks getting together in small groups simply to be in spiritual community beyond Sunday morning. A time where you can go and be supported and connected with each other. We can do that in classes. We can do that in other areas. Take advantage of maybe what your local community offers as opportunities to come together and meet. It's hard to hate close up. It's easier to love when you're close up. Practicing community, practicing mindfulness, practicing unity principles, practicing community. Those are just 3 ways you can get started to answer this question. What is yours to do to be peace? So starting on January 30th, for the next 64 days, I want you to invite you to get online, Google Season for Nonviolence, and see what you find. There's some places that offer other specific practices that you can take on. But for the next 64 days, it says 21 days to change a habit, so take on 64. Start each morning with this question. What is mine to do to be peace today? At lunchtime, ask this question. What is mine to do to be peace today? At dinner time, before you go to bed, for the next 64 days, let this be the question that drives you. Let this be the question that centers you. Let this be the question that takes you into your heart space and opens you up. Let this be the question that motivates you into action or non-action. What is mine to do to be peace? Let's take this in for a brief prayer. So I invite you to shut the eyes, take a deep breath, and ground yourself in this truth. I am the peace of God. And from this place of knowing, from this place of the absolute of who we are, we trust that all that is ours to do to be the peace in the world will come forth, and that we know that we have enough time, we have enough courage, we have enough faith, we have enough smarts, we have all that we need to have because we are already all that we need to be in order to step into that. Each and every one of us is a peacemaker. So go make peace. And so it is. Amen and amen. I'd like to invite Jack Santos up at this point.
Good morning. I'm just hoping that your advice about God and drag works for God in grunge. You know, there's nothing like the smell of a flower in the dead of winter, and that's why we give flowers to the people from our community that join us for the first time. So if you're here for the first time, please raise your hand to get a flower and a welcome packet. Anybody here for the first time? Yes? A couple of people in the corner. And you can take that. You can take the welcome card and, to the Spiritual Resource Center outside during our hospitality time, and a volunteer will answer any questions that you may have about the church. And you can use that flower to get a 10% discount today at the bookstore. So welcome. And let's take a moment to wave to the live streamers. Say hi, live streamers. They're all over the world. You know, we got 20, 30, 40, 50, sometimes as many as 70 or 100 people watching on YouTube. And you can watch us live or recorded on YouTube at any time. The talks are all available on any podcast platform. Just go online and search for Unity on the River Sunday service sermons, and they'll pop up either on YouTube or a podcast platform. Unity on the River is a center of celebration, transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Please hold these truths in your heart as we say our vision for ourselves and the world. Awakened to and transformed by divine love, we are an expanding, compassionate, inclusive beacon of light. And we achieve our vision with our mission statement. So with me, transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. And it's that time in our service where we prepare our tithes and offerings, and in your bulletin you'll find an insert. You're welcome to take that home and give in different ways. It describes all the different ways we can give, or as we hand out our tithes and offering basket, as we pass it around. And new for 2020, this is what I love about this church. You know, we're really hip, because if you set your phone up, you can actually take your phone out in church and use it and give to Unity on the River through a phone and texting. So you can text give to 833-702-4337 and do it that way. And you don't have to fill anything out or write a check or take anything out of your wallet. So but be sure to use that system if you so choose. We give thanks in advance for all the ways you will choose to invest in our spiritual community. And let's hold them in our tithes and offerings and our phones, and breathe in our energy of abundance as we affirm together. The divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
I got everything that I need to be happy. I got love, I got friends, and I got my community. Yeah, yeah. The birds in the morning and the sweet blue sky. Got my heart beating sounds and singing my, oh my. What good is wealth? I got everything that I need to be happy. I got love, I got laughter, I got what's left of my sanity, and I got John on piano and Ogun in my ear. I got all the sweet belonging that comes from being here with all you beautiful people and all my family. Don't forget the family meeting and the community meeting after the service. I got everything that I need. I got everything that I need. I got everything that I need to be happy. Do I?
You know, I just didn't wear grunge. I wore my John Hyde look-alike outfit without the beard. So just a few announcements. The annual meeting, as Meg has said, it will be after church today at 12 p.m. In a community potluck. So the board will share the budget for 2020, and we'll give an update on the sale of the property, and we'll elect new board members. And licensed Unity teacher Tom Paolini is going to facilitate a shadow work practice workshop, the Q process, on Saturday, February 1st from 9 to 4:30. Your subsequent meeting times will be over the phone or via wow, we are so hip, Zoom video conferencing. So register online at unityontheriver.org/classes. And next month, while Reverend Ogun is on his usual February vacation, we're going to have some really special guests featuring our own licensed Unity teacher, Amy Jocelyn. Amy's going to talk Sunday, February 9th at 10 a.m. And then singer-songwriter Charlie Thweet. Charlie will be with us on February 23rd. And I'm really excited about this. An original off-Broadway performance about the life of St. Francis Assisi. So apparently he's going to take this to New York, but before he does, he's coming up here and going to do it with us on February 23rd. James Twyman, he's been here before. We all love him. So looking forward, February 16th. We're looking forward for James on the 16th. So you don't want to miss any of that, and there's more details in your bulletin or on our website. And then finally, a big thank you to people who are stepping up: Julian, Malik, and Jack. Is there another Jack? I don't know if that's ever happened before, but as I always say, baby, if there is, 2 Jacks beat a full house. So. And then the teams, the bookstore team, the hospitality team, ushers and greeters, and board members. Board members, if you're here, could you please stand up? Board members are available for answering questions and discussion after service. So we'll turn it over to Meg
Got kids
and
today?
the band. And
No kids today.
let's stand to Ain't No Mountain
Ain't
High
no
Enough.
mountain high enough to keep me from getting to all of you.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. Don't have to worry, baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby.
Remember the day I set you free? I told you you could always count on me, darling.
I I made a vow.
I'll be there when you want me.
Oh, baby,
Baby,
ain't no mountain high enough.
ain't no valley
Good enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. My love is alive, way down in my heart, although we are miles apart. If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there in a double. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Oh, baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. All right.
So I trust there won't be any mountain high enough, river wide enough, valley low enough to stop you from coming back to the annual meeting after service. So when we're out, go grab a bite in hospitality. If you brought a dish for the potluck, we want to invite you to go and set it up because we are running really low on hospitality volunteers today. Is that, yeah, Brian, you can turn me down a little bit. So head out there and do that. Take some time to connect with someone you may not know very well, and let's practice community. Then come back and practice community some more right at 12 for our annual meeting. Let us affirm the peace, the truth for ourselves that we talked about today, that peace begins with each and every one of us. Let there be peace on earth. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed. Go be the peace this week.